guys, gals, and guests. Welcome to another episode of LGBTQ plus Singles Live. I am your host, yo girl, Bre Starr. What's going on? How y'all doing tonight? Yes, we have another show, baby. We are here. Come on in, welcome in. Yes. Don't pay attention to my little t-shirt thing. That ain't none of your business. How y'all doing tonight? Oh, I see we have some past guests in the building. Maybe we can get an update. See who's doing what. Oh, the folks is coming in. Remember, if you ever want to be featured, if you ever want to be highlighted, if you ever want to be interviewed, all you have to do is tune in and send me a request. Like now. Now you can send me a request. How y'all doing? It's a lot going on, honey. I'm about to just rock this thing. Y'all just about to see this thing until it dry up. Whew. It's been a lot going on, ain't there? A lot going on in the news, baby. I got a story to report on as soon as I get off of this live with y'all. And I'm telling you, it's some tea. Of course, I'm posting the unedited version on here, on Instagram, honey. You know, TikTok will block, ban, CVG, donkey kick a bitch right up off of their motherfucking app. Any little thing a black big mouth bitch like me do. Yes, praise the Lord. If you didn't know about TikTok, they racist. TikTok US. Anyway, I'm going to see if I can change my location, change my geography on TikTok and see if that'll change some of the community guidelines or something. You know, because Jesus wept and I didn't have a Kleenex, so we can't do that. Hey, Raj, ain't nobody fooling with you. Yaj, Alibaba, Lord forgive me. Ain't nobody fooling with you. Sent a request last time and didn't disappear. But then again, I don't know how the Wi-Fi is in Syria or the Persian Gulf. I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you and your people and your country. But it's so much going on, honey. So much violence. All this violence. We ain't going to get into it too much. We ain't going to get too heavy into it too much. It's already in my energy. It's already in my spirit anyway. So we ain't going to get into it too much. But it's all this violence. Oh, my Lord. Everybody being violent. And I'm tired of talking about black people being violent. I don't mean no harm, honey. You know, I'm an equal opportunity kind of girl, but I'm getting tired of seeing people who look like me. Thank you, Zay. I'm getting tired of seeing people who look like me act a damn fool and cut up and be violent. Like, I don't even believe that this is in y'all nature. I think it's mental health. I think it's this fucking country bitching these guns. But that's a whole nother conversation. But then again, honey, apparently you ain't safe in Mexico neither. But when were you? Let me mind my motherfucking business, honey. We about to get the show started. I ain't even going to play in Puss tonight. Yeah, I ain't fooling with y'all. I ain't going to sit up and play in Puss tonight. Like I said, again, reminder, if you are trying to come in, if you want to be featured, all you got to do is send a request. Yeah. Or let me know in the chat. If you don't know how to send a request, let me know in the chat. I don't discriminate. I know some of our viewers aren't necessarily tech savvy. Pray for them, baby. Because I don't know what they're going to do when we all androids. All right, I'm about to bring in our first guest. Come on, y'all. Get the energy up. Get the energy up for our first guest, honey. I ain't clicked on them yet. Hold your horses, but still get the energy up. Love. You know what I mean? Praise the Lord. For art thou in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Alrighty, give me one second. All right.
Hi.
Hey, friend, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I can't complain. I'm here. Give the people your name and pronouns, please.
My name is Carlin and my pronouns are they, them.
And what is your age and location?
I just turned 37 and I'm in Montreal, Quebec.
When was your B-Day?
October 28th.
Does that make you a Scorpio?
It does.
So
And I wouldn't have it any other way.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. So what is your sexual orientation, friend?
I'm an equal opportunist. I'm pansexual, panromantic.
I take it. What do you do for a living?
I'm an artist. Very
What
broad, but sorry.
what kind of artist? What kind of art do you produce?
Yeah, well, multidisciplinary. So I guess my main craft is songwriting. I'm a vocalist, guitar player. I produce music. I play bass. I also produce events. Like I have a show here in Montreal called Afro Drag because in Canada there's not that many Black folks, and it was necessary. So. Mid-20s, thank you.
Yeah,
Um,
they're gagging about Carlin's age in the chat. Um, you said there's not a lot of Black people in Canada,
no, there's not a lot of Black people in Canada.
so it's just an illusion with these Canadian rappers coming out.
Like Drake and
You got Tory Lanez.
Tory Lanez
I
is
mean,
Canadian. I don't think so.
I believe he is. Yeah, from Toronto.
Oh.
Yeah. And there's a few more. I can't remember their names right now, but there's some underground up and coming hip hop artists from Toronto. I think one of them is signed by Drake.
One of the Weekend? I don't know. He's not a rapper, but
Oh yeah, true, true. Interesting. I'm gonna have to keep that in mind because Canada is one of the places that I actually want to visit. So fun.
yeah, come visit.
I will. I definitely will, and of course, I'll keep you posted.
Please.
Why would you say that you're single?
Why am I single? Uh, gosh. I don't know if this is true, but I sort of was thinking that it might be because I've been trying to date like exclusively other Black trans people, and and like I don't know, like our mental health is not that good, and it's been a roller coaster. I don't know.
As someone who is also T for T, um, that is a qualm. That is something that I come across as well, especially in the trans people of color community.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we may be lacking in that department, folks. I still love you all though. Do you think that you're ready for love?
Yeah, I'm ready for love.
How long have you been single?
Oh my God. Really like, oh, okay, so here's the thing. I, so like where I grew up, there's like really not a lot of black people. And so I dated exclusively white cis men, queer white cis men, but like like long-term relationship back to back. So I was in relationships for like 10 years and then the last one ended in 2014 and I've been like dating and had like some short things, but I haven't been in a relationship since then.
So it's been about 8 years.
Only 8 years. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from 2014 to now.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's about 8 years. Do you think with that gap in the intimacy of a partnership, do you think that you're ready to be loved?
Yeah.
You answered that with confidence. I appreciate it.
Mm.
What would you consider to be your strengths
As a partner?
in
Or
general?
um I think I'm a good communicator. I'm very direct, and not everybody likes that, but I really like things to be very clear. So in terms of, verbal communication, I like to be clear about things, and I think I'm very compassionate and creative, and I don't know.
I'm sure there's plenty, but you give me the impression that you're a modest person, so I respect that. What would you consider your weakness?
All my friends here. Hi, Isha. My weaknesses? Probably like self-centered and a little bit controlling.
You consider yourself self-centered?
Like, I think I can be, but I
And,
don't know. Maybe it's not the right term. I'm
and
just used to being like hyper independent and yeah, and I spend a lot of time alone, so yeah.
okay, I get why you say self-centered. I don't know how it goes in Canada, but I know here, self-centered is not the impression I get from you. It's like I associate it more with like cognitive dissonance, like someone who's unwilling to see outside of themselves.
Right.
But yeah, I do understand the technicality of the term, you being self-centered, wanting to spend a lot of time with yourself, but I consider that more introverted.
Yeah, okay.
Would you say that you're a shy, quiet personality type?
It really depends on the context. Like, I'm not great in groups, but one-on-one, I'm not shy.
I take it. I take it. I I had that assumption. I get that impression from you. So I was
Mhm.
curious, but I know you being an artist is what made me ask the question because I know there are a lot of artists that outside of performing, they can be pretty shy or timid or introverted.
Yeah. I don't think I'm shy. I can be quite like my Scorpio-ness. I can be very guarded. Like, I don't want to give away a lot of information until I trust people. Um, but I wouldn't say I'm shy.
That could definitely be what I'm sensing because I did sense like guard up, but I tend to assume that that's shyness because a lot of shy people, that shyness tends to revolve around them having their guard up. But I respect it. I definitely respect it. I'm not as trusting of people as I seem myself. So,
Yeah.
could you describe your ideal partner for me?
Um, okay, I'm in a situation, you know, and in my mind, it's this person minus the bullshit. Um, yeah, it's a
That's
platonic situation, but it's a situation nonetheless, and it's getting on my nerves. Um, uh, yeah, my ideal partner. Well, I am like non-monogamous. I don't really like the term polyamorous for myself. I'm not really wanting to date a lot of people, but I just think that like monogamy is not a recipe for longevity with me. Um, I just like to be able to grow with my partner and as a person, be able to explore other relationships maybe in the future in my life. So my ideal partner is not necessarily just one person, but I I tend to work well with people who are grounded and probably less flashy. Like I'm not flashy, but somebody who's not a performer. You know what I mean? Um, somebody who is a good communicator, very important. Somebody who likes to stay in, somebody who, um, I guess, sees the bigger picture of the world and definitely has an understanding of how white supremacy functions. Because I'm not, you know, if you can't see eye to eye on those things, it's hard to kind of move forward and build a foundation. Um, and I don't know, somebody. I guess I should know more specifically what my ideal partner is.
not necessarily. I think for some people and in some phases of life, we don't necessarily, or we may not necessarily know what we want until it's in front of us.
Mm.
What are some deal breakers for you?
Well, okay, hygiene. Hygiene is like that's a big one. Um, I really don't like cigarettes. Like it could maybe be something I could negotiate with somebody, but it's a big turnoff. Um, heterosexuality is kind of a big turnoff for me. I don't really think that could work. Um, Deal breaker. I don't know, somebody who hates animals.
I'm not mad about that. Do you have, I know that you're pansexual, but do you have any appearance preferences?
Uh, Well, I find that I like people who have a nice balance of masculine and feminine energy. Like, I don't really like hyper masculine energy at all. Um, and I mean, like, hyper feminine can be nice, but I really like to feel a nice mix of energy in a person. I find that very attractive and makes me feel safe.
Do you consider yourself more of a dominant or submissive personality in relationships?
In the relationship, I think I like to get my way. So I am probably somewhat dominant. Yeah. Just in terms of like, I like to I like to get my way. Um, but in terms of, like I don't adhere to gender roles, and in terms of like in the bedroom, I'm very versatile. I don't like to just do one. I like to do everything together. I like the exchange.
Speaking of the exchange, is physical intimacy important to you? Is sex important?
It's like really important.
Is there anything that you would want a potential partner to know about you sexually, or to know about your sexuality or sexual preferences?
Yeah, but I'm probably not gonna say it on Instagram Live.
Hey,
uh,
smile usually gets it through. Um,
Sorry.
I said the smile usually gets it through. People,
Um,
your answer. Um, if you feel comfortable at answering, when was the last time you were physically intimate with someone?
uh, I had a hookup in June.
And is this the person that you've been back
No,
to
that
front?
is platonic. That relationship is platonic.
Oh, and see, when you said platonic, still in my mind, I registered friends with benefits.
It is platonic and romantically ambiguous. That's how I will describe it.
I've been in a situation like that before. I hope that this is a very special person who's
This is
taking
a very
of your emotional feel.
this is a very special person, but lately, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it's been a little draining, honestly, so I'm not sure.
All being in, based on what you're describing, I recall being in a similar situation. And for me, it was a learning lesson. But the main thing that I learned was personality types to avoid for dating in the future.
Mm.
Mm. I'll say that, but I hope everything turns out in your best interest, and I know that everything will be fine. I know that you'll be great with or without this person.
Yeah. I'm I've noticed that I have a real tendency to go towards people who need fixing, you know, or need saving actually is the
Mm.
thing. Yeah.
Called them wounded birds, and the helper personality type tends to be attracted to wounded birds. What is your age range? Oh, before that question, why not the person you hooked up with over the summer? Why not them?
It was a grinder hookup, so it's not really.
You don't have to explain no further.
Yeah.
What's age for dating?
For dating, I don't really want to date somebody younger than 28. Um, it just feels kind of weird. I'm sure I could connect with people at a younger age, but now that I'm 37, when I think about the inappropriate age differences that I was involved with when I was really young, like I never want to recreate that, and I do not even want to come close to it. So yeah, I think 28 is probably the youngest I would date, although I would ideally like to date somebody closer to my age, like 33 to I would date older, like up to 10 years older, so up to 47 I would, yeah. Or if they're rich, we could even go a little older than that. We're all adults here.
Speaking of rich, how do you feel about marriage?
I'm not interested.
What about kids?
I'm open to being a parent. I am not open to being a single parent. I'm not open to being pregnant. And yeah, so I would parent with somebody, but the situation needs to be there. The foundation needs to be there.
Do you have any income requirements for a partner?
Not requirements. You got to be able to take me for dinner sometimes. Like sometimes. If that's not even on the table, then I don't know. Like you need to have some money. But no, I'm an artist, so I don't have a whole lot of money. But you know, I'm doing okay, and I would like I can treat my partner, and I like to be able to do nice things together. But I like some reciprocity.
Fair enough. And you said you prefer nights in, right?
Yeah,
Do you smoke or drink?
no, I stopped drinking. I mean, well, to be honest, I haven't smoked weed in like almost a month, so I don't know. That could come back. It could come back, but I'm on a break right now. I don't, cigarettes just, I can't do it. It's gross.
Do you know your love languages?
Yeah. Physical touch, quality time, and I mean, all of them really, but, and acts of service are probably the main ones that I like to receive and give as well.
I respect it. Are you willing to relocate for love, or does the person have to be in Canada?
No, I want to get out of here. I don't think I'm going to meet anybody in Montreal. I'm like, if it has not happened, I'm trying to go to Toronto. I would love to go to the States. I mean, I'm terrified of being in the States because there's guns and there's no health care. But there's a lot of beautiful Black people, and I really would like to be there. Um, yeah. So
Thanks to Obama, the healthcare situation has gotten a lot better for lower income individuals. Me being one who can speak up on it, especially being a trans binary person and going through hormone replacement therapy and surgeries and things like that, that our healthcare system has gotten a lot better since Obama. But with you not technically being a citizen, at least when you
yeah,
first here, you wouldn't. I'm not sure how things would work, how things would differ.
exactly. I do have family in the States, but I'm not really close with them.
Do you know what part they're in? I'm curious.
Yeah, so the ones that I'm in touch with are in Seattle, Washington area. Got a lot of family over there. And then I have family in the South. I just don't know them. But
If they're from
my
the South, they're probably better left right where they're at. I'm
yeah.
I'm just we love the South. Final question, friend. What would make you a good partner? No. What would make you a great partner for someone else?
I feel like I already answered this question, but um well, I think the fact that I'm ready and willing to be in a relationship, um, that I have a lot of love to give. I think I'm a pretty good communicator. I try to be. Um, I have experience in long-term relationships, which I think is beneficial. And I am a passionate lover.
That's what Scorpio is supposed to be famous for.
Mm.
So let all the good people know how they could reach you, friend.
Yeah, here on Instagram, it's not really like this isn't the kind of me you're gonna get because it's my drag persona, but here on Instagram, _big sissy can slide in my DMs.
And let me just read it off to them for the edit. And their screen name is on Instagram is DA_BIGSISSY _big sissy. Thank you, friend.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's nice to actually talk to you. I adore and admire you so much.
I just try to do my part for our community.
You do more than that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, friend. And I'm sure we'll be communicating soon.
Okay.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
The show is started, honey. The show has started, honey. This is our first. Is this our first international guest? I think Big Sissy was our first international guest. Hey Jay, I see you in the chat. What's going on, Harry? I think we just had our first international guest, honey. We have another guest lined up. Are you ready? Are you ready, guest? Are you ready to come on in? Let's see if our next guest is ready. We're going to give our guest a second.
Hello.
Oh my goodness, how at you out and about?
Yeah, I was fixing to order something to eat to go.
Do you want to mute us while you place your order?
I'm sure if you'd like.
Sure, you can mute us. We'll I don't want to step in the way of anybody either.
Oh no, it's fine.
Backstage look like they struggling, honey. I wish I could. I wish I had bloopers of the backstage production, honey. Baby. But see these people, they low key, honey. They don't like being seen on camera and stuff. But if I could get them to sign a waiver, baby, because that walk, baby, if the walk I didn't see backstage just now, if that wasn't giving me Medea, honey, Medea after bunion surgery, baby. Mm-mm. It's a lot of heavy lifting going on out here. You gotta pray for these men. I don't know if y'all can hear them. I don't know if y'all can hear this man in these comments, but it's a king, baby. Yes, honey. I remember when you thought my song was saying my name and it was saying breathe. Breathe. It ain't me singing on it. So don't even worry about it. Go and stream that, honey. Dip Out. Go and stream Dip Out by Mahogany Blair and Yumi. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the girls on track. Sissy reminded us of the guy ordering drive-through while on a virtual job interview. Oh Lord, you was choking on. Oh my God! If y'all could see this chat, that would be a show in itself, honey. The chat and backstage, y'all wouldn't even need me. I'd just be here for decorations. Friend, I'm going to bring you back up after you get your food situated. We got somebody in the queue. All right, now let me just figure out how to be tech savvy real quick. Like, baby. Well,
Breathe, breathe.
hey, remind the people of your name and pronouns.
Oh, my name is Jediah. I am a man, Maury, but depending on the day, I like to go by she, her.
Okay.
How
Depending
y'all doing today?
day, you my sister, my bro, honey. Okay.
Okay, it's so funny because a lot of people be like, girl, and then they're like, oh, my bad. I'm like, girl, depending on the day. I'm not offended.
And depending on the person too, honey, because when they try it, honey, that's when you got to knock on wood.
Okay. But I was like, let me come up here and say hi to my good sis.
But
I don't know. I think your show did something for me. Remember when I was on your show and I was, kind of like selling myself and whatnot and doing the things that the guests that you had on before, they were amazing, by the way. But I had met up with this boy from TikTok, I should say this man, and we were on a live for like 9 hours and we connected so well. And I remember, whatever, I get down there and he's loving on me. I'm sure you've seen some of the videos because I posted some videos of him and I on my TikTok. Sadly, they're no longer there because I had to like remove them just for my viewing pleasure because the day before yesterday, we were having a conversation on the phone and he let me know some things and it was clear that I liked him more than he liked me. And it was time for me to kind of like cool it on that. Uh, but I will say, I am not discouraged. I am more open to receiving love and to giving love. I'm not going to let that man ruin my experience. So with that being said, the inbox is open, boys.
I love it. I love it.
So I think you did something for me subconsciously.
I love it, and I love the perspective. I mean, I'm sure you know from experience already, and based on the conversation that we had before, you're aware of how everybody does not come in your life for the purpose that you may want. But a lot of people serve purposes that you may not even be sure why they're there right now. But at the end of the day, oh God, I look like a white woman with a bad tan under this.
No,
Like,
actually, you've been looking really good tonight. You've been looking great tonight. I love the cheetah print.
thank
Love the hair. You could tell the face is beat for the gods, honey.
I
And the lighting is nice. You look great.
thank you. But back before I got distracted by my tan, um, you know how it goes. Some people are for a reason, some people are for a season, some people are forever.
That's the truth. And it's so crazy because I'm glad that I decided to come back home because girl, I was ready to remember I told you I'm ready to move for love. I am ready to move for love. I'm ready to take those leaps. I'm ready to really put myself out there because for a long time I haven't. I didn't think that I was worthy. I didn't think that I was worthy of receiving love and to being happy because of my past and because of all of my experiences that I've been through. But baby, being loved on like that, I know I'm deserving.
Baby. And maybe that's all that child needed to serve. Maybe that child only needed to reinforce things that you were already growing to learn, things that you were growing to know. And, maybe your sis threw some of that energy in the atmosphere. But ultimately, it sounds to me like that child was just a reminder of what's waiting for you, you know?
Exactly. Because I don't wait for nobody. I'm an Aquarius, he's a Taurus. So you already know how that goes. And I said, no, no, no. You don't love me. This I know, boy. People. The people.
I
The
understand it.
people. So yeah, with that being said, I love that I can speak freely on here. I be feeling some type of way speaking on TikTok because I know he follows me, and I don't want to make it seem like if I'm talking about him, because it definitely has to do with me too. But what I will say is, we had a conversation. He pretty much said that that it was so wishy-washy, right? Because at first he was like, okay, we're gonna have the boyfriend experience, and I didn't know how to feel about that because I already know I fall hard. I fall hard. I love hard. I fall hard, and I'm in it. And I will say that he was in it too. And on the last day, he did something really mean, and he made me cry. And I already know I turn up. I turn up. But I already knew that that wasn't going to get my point across. So I sat there with my eyes welled up with tears, just crying my eyes out, really communicating to him. And I think that opened up something in him. And then he started crying, and it was like you have to like pry him open just to communicate. And he was able to communicate in that moment. And then we made the best love afterwards. He's toxic. Toxic. Like toxic. And then after that, we're like getting ready, get in the shower, we're getting ready to, literally get up and make breakfast. And he starts crying again. And I'm like, why are you crying? Like, and I'm like wiping his tears away. And he's like, I'm gonna miss you when you leave. And I fucking lost my shit. Like, I was like, do not do that. Like, do not do that. Like, and I'm bawling. Like, and you could even see from the pictures that we took, like, right after that, like, you could see our eyes were so, we were just crying our eyes out, and we got a lot closer. And then when he dropped me off at the bus, he told me he loved me. And then I get home, and everything, we're communicating really well. And then I start seeing the pattern. I'm calling him, but he's not calling me. And I'm chasing him. And then it was like, because it was weird because he's, every morning I woke up to a good morning text. And then one day that didn't happen. And then he's like, oh, well, why didn't I send him a good morning text? He likes to be chased and shit like that. And then I just found myself chasing him. And the fuck, I look like chasing somebody.
I get it. I get it.
And, it was easy because you know how hard it is. I'm going to open myself up here because I feel like I can. And I think I need to release myself from the shackles of the stigma of it being dirty or nasty. But being HIV positive, it's really hard because having that conversation could literally push people away in a heartbeat, or it could bring you closer. And it's kind of fucked up how I found out that he had it. But then it was like we didn't need to have that awkward, difficult, weird, and sometimes shameful conversation.
He said.
I thought he was the one.
I mean, honestly, we got to give you a shout out to your growth. Like, you said a lot about him, but in actuality, you've been saying a lot about yourself and the whole spiel about him. Growth to, for one, the bonding, and it sounds like some potential trauma bonding, which is severely strong. Like,
he was lonely.
Trauma bonding can keep people together for decades. So with the fact that there's bonding, there's affection being exchanged, with it still being fresh, the fact that you could back up and that you could do what's best for you based on conversation we had in the past, that didn't sound like the person that I spoke to before. So just in that little bit of time, like shout out to your growth and shout out to growth just in this live, because me being somebody who, I'm not HIV positive, but I deal with my own struggles, and there are certain things that I don't feel comfortable sharing or had trouble sharing initially when I first started coming online. So I know how much power that in itself.
I feel like much more free of just saying it on here. Like I don't think I would go on TikTok, but like here in this very, very moment, I feel just comfortable. And I think it has something to do a lot with happiness, right? Because today I started a new job. I've been trying to get into this career since 2013, and bitch, I'm in it. Okay, I done made $35 tip, doing barely nothing, making good money. Like she said, when I got there today, she said, you have 56 hours sick time and you can use it from here on out. I said, what? Now, I would never call out in the first 3 months, honey, on probation. But the fact is that that is available, and I've been working in the field for so long. I've been asleep for the past 9 years, and my spirit has awakened. I'm doing what I love, and today didn't even feel like work. And the people that I'm surrounded by, they're very hospitable. You know, when you go into spaces and you have to kind of like be reserved because you don't know how people are going to treat you. Not a moment today did I feel shade from anybody. Not a moment today did I feel envy. Not a moment today did I feel like, oh, look at this bitch. Not a single fucking moment. And it's been a long time. Now, this is just the first day, so, you know, I'm not going to get carried away now, but I'm going into it with that energy. I literally had to pat myself on the back last night because then I realized how many times I actually go through so much bad stuff and I beat myself up. But even when the small victories come, I don't even celebrate my small victories. But last night, I had a conscious decision. I said, you know what? I'm really sitting here. And I've got into the field that I've wanted to get in for such a long time. And I'm acting like, oh, whatever, it's nothing. No, that is something to celebrate. That is something for me to be happy about. Because just June the 3rd, I had started a job that I thought that was going to change my life. And I got fired the first day because of some jealous, you know how that go.
As my grandmother would say, that wasn't meant for you. That was pushed out of your way for what you're doing now, for what's better for you. And continue speaking that into existence, friend. You know that the power of the tongue is real.
And for so many years, I've tore myself down. I've tore myself down. I don't know. I'm going to be 35 in January. And I look this good. Oh, bitch, we're going to eat up every moment, okay? Every fucking moment. I'm grabbing life by the balls, and I'm also grabbing it by the schlong.
Grab that motherfucker by the horns and ride that motherfucker. And JJ finds everybody where you're at and how to get in contact with you since the DMs are back.
Y'all can follow me on TikTok. My inbox is open, boys. Period. At URGAYBESTFRANNNX10. That is your gay best friend times 10. And I'm right here on Instagram. I'm on Twitter at UGBF_UGBF. And I usually use my Twitter to chat about like TV shows and whatever is on my mind in the moment. But y'all follow me on TikTok. I think I'm very inspiring. I think, you know, I definitely make it my business to show the real side of my human side. Because when you go online and you go on social media, you notice a lot of people put their best foot forward and they won't even touch the surface of the stuff that they go through in their life. And I remember for a long time, I used to compare myself to other people on social media and be like, why was that not me? Why can't that be me? What is it that I'm doing wrong? The whole time I'm not doing nothing wrong. They're just bow wow challenging it the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
And I choose to show that I'm real. I also use my platform to uplift and inspire others. Ask Patti LaBelle. She already know the tea. I don't stand for bullying. If you're my peoples, I will stand up for you because I have the mouth for that. I got the fist too. But
before I had followers on TikTok, you were one of the people pushing my content.
That's what I do. I uplift and I inspire, and I love my community. I love my gay people, and I love my black people. And it's not that I don't like white people either, because my daddy's a white man. But, you know, we know how it goes, you know. So I love you too, Diane. And you could just ask some of the people, Mama Trish that came in here, Patti LaBelle. You could ask, I'm really, Dark and Lovely has met me in person. What you see with me is what you get, and so much more.
I'm here for it, friend. I'm here for it, friend.
And I live in a shelter, and I'm not embarrassed by it because this is where life has me at the moment. And always know that you are where you are supposed to be at all times. Never question it. Sometimes it may be hard, but you know what? Nothing, and I mean nothing, lasts forever.
Baby, and I'm just glad that you're not out on them cold New York streets because, honey,
Me? Can you imagine?
It's too cold out here, honey. You find right where you at and fuck whoever got a problem with it. But we're gonna.
Puss is still good, and that's what I'm always tell them.
I think our friend at the diner finally got their entree. So we gonna.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna stick around. I'm definitely gonna watch. Thank you for having me on tonight. You're amazing, Bre. You are a star.
Don't make me cry, friend. Don't make me cry.
You better
It's
get your little Candace tissue and get your little corners going on. You notice we haven't seen that this season?
it's because of y'all. I haven't been seeing them this season. I'm so tired of Candace phony ass. But
She's actually doing really well this season. A lot of growth.
I don't know what to believe. But friend, thank you so much, and
Thank you. It's always my pleasure.
I appreciate having people like you. Cause without y'all, I ain't nothing.
Bree. Y'all have a good night, y'all.
Bye, Jen. All right, we're about to bring our guest. Thank you, Patty LaBelle. We're about to bring our guest up, our final guest for the night, it looks like. And let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on. I got to find out what Friend ordered, honey. Because Friend was not playing. Friend said, I'm going to get this tray today.
All right. Hi.
Hey,
I'm so sorry about earlier.
I'm curious. What did you get? What did you order?
I went to Arby's because there's two restaurants at this truck stop. There's one called Iron Skillet and then Arby's.
Iron Skillet sounds expensive.
It can be. Depends on what you get.
I ain't mad. It sounds like they might have a good steak in there. Give
Oh, they do.
the folks your name and pronouns, love.
My name is Wendy, and my pronouns are she, her.
How old are you and where are you from?
I'm 42 years old. Right now, right now I'm in New Jersey, but my home state is Texas.
I keep telling y'all, white people who are anti-racist age slower. Y'all gonna learn from seeing my guests. Y'all gonna learn. I'm sorry, friend. Where did you say you were from?
Texas.
Oh, Texas. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And what is your zodiac or your B-day?
My birthday is September 2nd. I'm very much a Virgo. I have a whopping 4 placements in my chart.
You hear backstage going off because you and everybody in this house at the moment, including me, their birthday is September 2nd.
Team Virgo.
That's Virgo, Aries, to be specific. What is your sexual orientation, friend?
I like to call myself relatively straight. I can't say that I would never be in a relationship with anyone else because I've never been given the opportunity. And if given the opportunity, I can't say that I would say no.
I dig it. And hey, if you live the rest of your life being one of the boring straights, we'll still be friends. I'll still love you the same.
Well, I still love you too.
And I'm assuming that you drive for a living.
Mm-hmm. I've been driving a semi-truck since 2018. Man, I'm telling you, the pay, I make sacrifices, yes. But for nearly $2 a mile, I'll go wherever they want me to go.
I can't say I wouldn't. Why would you say that you're single, friend?
I think it's a combination of many reasons. The fact that I am away for so long, because I'll stay on the road for a good 2 months. I'll go home for a week, and then I'll go driving for another 2 months. So I'm barely home.
Yeah, I have a common issue for commercial drivers.
Yeah. I even went to YouTube once, like advice for dating as a truck driver. And the girl was like, if you want my advice on dating a truck driver, don't. And I'm like, forever alone.
We're not that much on this live. How long did you say you've been single?
Um, the divorce was finalized at the beginning of 2019, and I have not dated since. I've been in not one but two very psychologically abusive relationships, and so when this recent one failed, I took the time and I was like, no, I'm not going to inflict myself on anybody right now. I need to heal. In order to love somebody else, I need to love myself first. So from then on, I have been in this journey of getting to know myself, loving myself, like all the things.
At this,
Just
at this,
healing.
do you think that you're ready for love at this point?
I'm open to it. I've become happy in my singleness, but that's not to say I would outright reject a relationship. I think this time I would take my time instead of jumping into the deep end head first, because that's exactly what I've done every single time. And
I
it's gotten me into so much trouble.
I get it. I have definitely been that girl myself. Do you have any kids?
Yes, I have three. I have one, my oldest is non-binary, and I have two younger daughters.
Do you care to share ages?
16, 8, and 9.
Okay. Does the oldest help out?
Does the oldest have what?
Does does the oldest help out with the younger two?
That's the unfortunate thing. They're with my mom in Texas, and my younger two are with the ex-asshole in Oregon. She got to meet my middle of the first few months of her life, but she has not met her youngest sister. And that breaks my heart every day.
Mm. Well, we're gonna keep it moving from there. I don't even want to stay there. I can't imagine. Family is very important to me as well. Um, Outside of resilience, because clearly that's a strength for you. What are some of your other strengths?
I'm I'm creative. I'm funny as hell. And when I'm with somebody, I am really with them. Like I am friendship, romance, doesn't matter. If I'm with you, I'm by your side through thick and thin.
What about weaknesses?
I can be jealous sometimes, like because I've had a guy that I've been interested in, and he's talked to other girls, and I'm like, no, 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 I'm better than them. You need to be talking to me and me alone.
All right, Virgo.
And I do have some trust issues.
It's very it it speaks to a great emotional awareness for you to not only admit that but admit it live.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas I know I'm not perfect. I will never claim to be, and
No,
I will never pretend to be.
no, nobody is. The people who pretend to be are usually Virgos like us. Could you describe your ideal partner for me?
I think, honestly, at this point, I want somebody who's kind, you know, funny, of course, and intelligent. I would like to have somebody that I could have an intelligent conversation with. Um, they're going to have a lot of patience with me, for sure. Because I am a shit talker and, well, the issues.
Anybody who's worth it will be more than patient.
Oh, yeah.
What about deal breakers?
Arrogance. I hate those people who think they're the center of the universe. If you can't be kind to others, you don't deserve me. And of course, cleanliness, I don't want anybody that, I could catch an infection from.
Or a ringworm.
Right? Like, at least take a shower.
Yes, apparently that is a hot topic these days. So we won't go too far into that. I don't want B. Simone coming over here trying to rub a dub. Do you have, I know that you said that you're open to the possibility of being in something outside of a heterosexual relationship, but do you have any appearance preferences for a partner? Is there anything physically that you tend to go for?
Not so much. I mean, I do want to be somewhat attracted to somebody. I mean, that's only natural. But for me, this is just an outside vessel for our soul. Looks will fade. We're all going to get old and wrinkly. So it's like, I don't put so much importance on that.
I dig it. Would you consider yourself more of a dominant or a submissive personality in relationships?
That depends on my mood. Because I'll be in those moods sometimes. I'm like, well, I'm like a car during the wintertime. Let's give me a chance to kind of warm up. And then there's other times I'm like, listen, mother, if you don't body slam me on that bed and get in there, I'm going to be pissed.
Of body slamming on beds, is physical intimacy important to you?
Yeah, it somewhat is. I mean, it's not everything, but it is important.
Okay.
I would like to have that intimacy with somebody.
I definitely can relate and respect that. Are you monogamous or open to non-monogamy?
I'm more monogamous than anything. I've had an instance where somebody offered to have me in a multiple scenario.
A poly relationship?
And the more I thought about it, I was like, I don't know if I want to share.
If your question,
Hey, I'm like that kindergartner with the toy. I don't know if I play well with others.
there will be people who say otherwise. My personal advice, and I know from experience, if you're questioning it, or from my own experience, if you're questioning it, if you're not completely confident in it, just don't even do it.
Yeah. I'm not one for drama. I mean, don't get me wrong. If it doesn't involve me, I'll grab a bucket of popcorn immediately. But do not bring me into it.
When were you last physically intimate with another person?
Oh, I'd say about a month or so ago.
Why not?
I do have a friends with benefits situation.
Could you see that being more? Could you see it evolving into more?
No, he's not open to it. I am, and I told him at one point I do have feelings for him, but he has expressed interest in someone else. And he told me that there are some parts of me that are not good enough. So that I immediately was like, nope.
I'm praying for the person who is good enough, because it sounds like they're going to end up with a piece of trash.
Yeah, I have a feeling he is in a karmic union, because I have heard that he invited this girl to his family reunion. She was not very social, and she sought out his mother to tell her, and I quote, "Does he not know I can ruin his life?" I was like, oh, as soon as I heard that, I was seeing red. And I'm like, you know what? I don't care if he's with me or not. He deserves better than that.
Usually, though, I'm a firm believer. I can't tell the universe how to punish a hoe. You know, I can't tell
I,
Carmen to do.
I've done my best to give him a heads up. I've told him a couple of times, beware of the mask. And then I have sat back and I'm letting Karma do her thing while I have, like I said earlier, my bucket of popcorn. And I'm gonna sit and watch the shit show go down. And then I'll bring out the Virgo and say, okay, now what did you learn from this?
Don't do that. What what is your age range for dating?
I think the youngest I'll go is maybe 26, 27, maybe 30s. I don't tend to get along with people my age for some reason.
And so what is the age group you typically date? You typically date between like late to mid 20s and like mid to late 30s?
Mm-hmm. Like 26, 27 to about 38, 39.
I take it. I take it. Have you noticed what is the main differences that you notice in dating younger versus older?
Um, I noticed that the older that they get, the more set in the ways they are. And I like to have somebody who is a lot more open-minded. You know, I'm not necessarily religious, but I do like the tarot cards. I like the astrology, the crystals, and I like somebody who's willing to, even if they're not interested in it, at least put up with me talking about it all the time.
And that makes sense to me because I know for a lot of millennials, that's still scary. That's still, a scary place spiritually. So that makes sense to me. How do you feel about having more kids or dating someone with children?
I am perfectly fine with dating somebody with children. I can't actually have children of my own anymore because I did go in and have a surgery, broke the machinery, so to speak, purposely. Um,
Congratulations. Do you
I was kind of pushed into it. I was told that if I didn't get it done, that my at the time husband would never touch me again. And I was not going to live in a relationship where there was no intimacy. And then I had huge regrets afterwards. But now I've made peace with it because at my age it would be a little reckless to have more children. The chances of there being something wrong health wise increases.
I have family members who have essentially done the same thing for the same reasons. I come from a fertile family, so it's kind of one of those things where if you don't get things snipped and you're interacting with people who aren't snipped, you're very
Yeah.
going to be getting pregnant up into your 50s.
Oh yeah. And my last two was 12 months and 2 days apart. So we didn't want Irish twins to become Irish triplets or more.
The 8 and the 9-year-old you said are exactly a year apart.
12 months and 2 days, yeah. And they're all three in November. In and in order from oldest to youngest.
So you got 3 birthdays in November, right before Christmas. I'm praying.
Yeah.
I'm praying.
The eighth, 11th, and 13th.
Yeah, you better keep driving. Do you have income requirements for a partner?
Uh, Not any strict ones. I want somebody that at least has a job. You know, I'm willing to have somebody who isn't working on themselves.
In what way?
Uh, you know, well, improving themselves as a person, improving themselves as in work. You know, wants to be the best version of themselves all around. Like, I keep telling everybody, don't sleep on the work in progress. I mean, I know I myself am a work in progress. So,
Yeah.
you know.
But you want somebody who's at a point where they can sufficiently take care of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I respect that. Do you prefer night out or night in?
That also depends on my mood. I'm an introvert with extrovert tendencies, so I'll have my moods to where I'm like, let's be social. And then I'll have those times where I'm like, I don't want to people. Let me get in my cave, my little hidey hole, and be all by myself.
Maybe it's a Virgo thing. Do you know your love languages?
Time. Quality time.
Mm.
And I mean, I do like intimate touch and words of affirmation, but for the most part, it is the time.
Are you willing to relocate for love? Or does the person have to be in Texas?
No, no, I'm open to relocate. Absolutely. I mean, I've seen so much of this country that, you know, I don't really think that there is a bad place to live. So, you know, if somebody's like, "Hey, come live with me," I'll be like, "Okay."
Last question, Lindsay. What would make you a great partner for someone else?
I definitely make life interesting. You, I don't think anybody will have a dull moment ever.
I definitely see you being open to adventure. I mean, you do drive around the country for a living, and you're friends with me.
Hey, you know what? I'll take it.
Tell the people how to get in touch with you, Wendy.
Well, you can definitely reach me through my Instagram here. This is my art page. I also have my personal, which is Time Lord Companion and Training. And I also have my TikTok, which is the Flying Windy Bird.
I'm going to spell out your Instagram for the YouTube edit. That is artist underscore Wendy underscore Baker. That is
Yeah.
ARTIST underscore
Mm-hmm.
WENDY underscore BAKER.
Indeed.
Indeed, indeed. Thank you again, friend, for coming on. Thank you, thank you.
Well, thank you for having me, and thank you for your patience with me.
No problem.
My ADHD brain was like, "You need something to eat." I'm like, "I'm fixing to go on." No, you need something to eat now.
No problem. I get it. I'm never going to interrupt nobody from feeding themselves, honey. That's not built. I'm quite built the opposite.
All right. Well, it was lovely seeing you again. We got to do this more often.
Indeed, indeed. I'll talk to you later, friend.
All right. Take care and stay hydrated.
Thanks. You too.
Drink that water.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I think we may have one more guest who came in at the buzzer. I think we might have one more guest. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. Can you give the people your name and pronouns, love?
Absolutely. My name is Zayari, and I go by she, they.
And how old are you and where are you located?
I am 24, and I am a Carolina girl, North Carolina to be specific.
Where, Carolina? What is
Okay.
what is your zodiac or B-day?
I am a Leo, and I am the first day of Leo, July 23rd.
All right, Leo. Make some noise. Rawr.
Okay.
What is your sexual orientation?
I've found myself mostly attracted to men, but I am open to all kinds of people. I've just, the opportunity to go any other way has never presented itself, per se.
I know how that goes. I mean, you're still young. You're a baby. You're 24. So many opportunities will come, I'm sure. What do you do for a living?
Um, I do so many things. I am a singer-songwriter. I am also a writer. I'm working on a novel right now. In my day-to-day life, I am a florist and a bartender.
Why would you say that you're single?
I would say, admittedly, I probably have high expectations. I I've grown up watching other people's relationships and kind of learned a lot from watching other people go through things, and so I know what I'm willing to accept for myself. And a lot of people within my own generation are not necessarily ready for the kind of commitment I'm ready for.
I could see that. I could see that. I can see it being hard for a mature 20 something to date in their age group. I even with my age group, I see the difference in dating with social media, so I can't imagine what it is for your generation.
Yeah.
Do you think that you're ready for love though?
I think that I am. I wouldn't have said yes to that question maybe like a year or two ago, but I think that I am now.
What's changed?
I think so I got fired from my job. I didn't get fired actually. My job unexpectedly shut down um 3 months ago, and I was a manager at a restaurant. And I worked one day, and literally the next day they sent a text message to all of us that they were shutting down the entire store. And so I was just like, oh wow. And so I just decided to stay unemployed for a little while, and I spent that time doing a lot of soul searching and just like self development time. And I just recently got back to having a job, and I've kind of more found myself and discovered myself. And so I think I'm more in a place where I could accept love because I feel like I deserve it.
You just answered my next question, but I want to give a shout out to you for having the resilience to break that plantation mentality and to break that 9 to 5 mentality and actually take the time for the self care. A lot of us don't have the strength to do that.
I think it was very important because I have been very hyper independent since I've been 18. I moved out on my own at like 18, 19, and I moved to Atlanta, and I kind of lived on my own for a little while. And so I think I just became to always taking care of myself, both physically and emotionally. And so it was nice to kind of take a step back to take care of the inside as well.
Absolutely. Have you ever been in a relationship, in a committed relationship that you say?
I have not.
It's not uncommon. It's not uncommon for a 20 something queer. Trust me. Don't don't feel bad if you ever second guess it. It sounds like
No, I don't. I used to sometimes think, my gosh, somebody should have come around by now. But I think that it's kind of been a protection for me, especially listening to a lot of other people's experiences of what a lot of young queer people, especially young Black queer people, go through in relationships. I think I've avoided a lot of heartbreak being single this long. So I I've tried to find the silver lining in everything.
and also another silver lining, it sounds like you're setting yourself up to be emotionally stable enough to handle a breakup if it comes to that.
I think I have kind of always tried to accept people for what they can give and not try to place people where they don't want to be. So if someone's not doesn't want to be with me, I don't want to make that about myself. It's not necessarily about me per se. It's about where they are and in that moment, and maybe they're just not ready to meet me there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Can you give me 1 second to pause? My phone wants to shut down, but we're not letting her shut down on you today. So just let me grab my charger. I'll be right back.
Absolutely. Yes. I got my Tony Braxton unit on today, honey. Yes. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you do the thing. Okay. Hey. And I shall never breathe again, breathe again. And I shall never breathe again. He wasn't man enough. I was just okay. Spanish guitar is such a vibe. The Heat in general, such a good album. Who do you think I am? Don't you know he was my man? But I chose to let him go. So what did you with love? You could still care about him. Looking at me like I'm hurt when I'm the one who said I didn't want it to work. Did you forget I had him first? Thank you. Oh my gosh. So sweet. Everyone is so nice on here. But what you thinking? Stop blaming me. He wasn't man enough for me, yes. Now here's your chance. See, I've already had your man, baby. Just where he's been, yeah. I'm worried about him, yes. I think it's turning out the truth. I think he's just the man for you.
I'm back, honey.
It's back.
I thought my phone was more charged than that, but we're going to blame it on the universe or the new update, whichever one you decide. Could you tell me some of your strengths?
I'm very kind and caring. I'm observant, thoughtful, intelligent, open-minded, and always willing to grow and intake other people's perspectives.
What about weaknesses?
I would say that maybe I could communicate my feelings better. I'm kind of a poker player. I tend to hold my cards close to my chest. I wouldn't say that I'd like to know that other people are feeling me before I express that I'm feeling them. I would also say that I can be selfish in a non-self-sacrificing way. I won't play the martyr. I won't stay anywhere where I feel like I'm going to suffer for whether that be for love, for money, what have it. Perhaps it doesn't make me selfish. Maybe just I can be kind of self-focused, but
I think we look at selfish now, especially after the guests that we had earlier. I've been thinking about it, and I think that we look at selfish as such a negative word. We put so much negative connotation on selfish, when in actuality, it's something that we all need. A certain amount of selfishness is needed for self-preservation.
sure.
Could you describe your potential ideal partner?
I would say this person would be open-minded, also intelligent, kind, generous, someone who has ambition and dreams of their own and not just putting their all into someone else. Someone who has their own thoughts and opinions.
What about Zil?
How to accept other people's.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I shouldn't have cut you off on that, but it is definitely a difference between someone who can share their thoughts and opinions and someone who can accept others.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes, I built the whole TikTok platform off of it.
You did.
What are your deal breakers, Z?
I would say everybody's kind of saying the hygiene thing, but I'm going to have to jump on the hygiene shit with them because
It's a good.
you got to know how to scrub, sweetie. It's important. It's a health thing. I would also say that arrogance is another one. I don't mind someone who's dominant, but I don't like people who are controlling. It's cigarettes, low key. I could, if it was truly the love of my life, I suppose I could look the other way. But yeah,
You
that might.
you shouldn't have to, and I don't think you really have to deal with that as much as somebody my age, because for the most part, your generation, worst case scenario, you're going to get somebody who vapes.
I was thinking that I don't see too many people my age getting into cigarettes. It's more vapes than anything, definitely.
Yeah, yeah, and then you got people my age who stuck on the vape because we started when we were your age before there was a vape. Do you have any appearance preferences?
I like someone. I'm a little bit of an Amazonian goddess. I'm 5'9", so I would like someone my height or maybe a little taller. I find myself attracted to all kinds of people, all races of people. But I love my black and brown people. I ain't gonna lie to you. As far as appearances, I do love a nice smile. Someone who takes care of themselves on the outside, who doesn't necessarily take care of themselves for presentation for other people, but because they appreciate themselves and their appearance.
I respect that answer in so many ways. I know you mentioned that you can be attracted to dominance, but would you consider yourself more of a dominant or a submissive personality in relationships?
So I think that my personality can be seen as kind of dominant in general, but I think in relationships, I do prefer to kind of hand over the reins on some things. If I find someone who's really capable of leading in a relationship, I absolutely have no problem following.
I take it. Is physical intimacy important to you? I know you don't have the most relationship experience, but from what you know, is physical intimacy important to you?
I think it is. I think that it's not everything, but I think it plays a part in the chemistry you have with someone.
I would agree. Absolutely. When were you last physically intimate with someone?
So I've actually never been physically intimate with someone.
I had a feeling the ancestors told me that you have not been deflowered.
I have not. Not deflowered, y'all.
Yes, honey. I appreciate it. I think that is important for a potential partner to know, and I would personally suggest, being the last of my friends who lost their virginity, I would suggest definitely only accepting someone who's patient. Look out for patience. Look out for patience. I know for me, I didn't truly, over time, with everyone else around me being sexually active and me not being sexually active, I started to build a lot of pressure around it. I put pressure on myself and I also put pressure on my partner. So a piece of advice that I would give to you is that you don't have to jump straight in 6 feet, you know, and take your time. Take your time. Don't rush yourself, because in my experience, the best sex is when you're comfortable.
Absolutely. I think at a point I thought, I was like, I got to college and I was like, yeah, it'll probably happen here. And then after my freshman year, I was kind of like, I don't really care if it happens. It'll happen when it's supposed to happen with who it's supposed to happen with. So I'm not necessarily waiting on marriage, but I'm waiting to feel a level of emotional connection and comfortability to share that part of myself with someone else.
That may be necessary for you to share that part of yourself with someone else. And don't think you're weird if that's the case. I know hookup culture is very popular, but I'm a demisexual as well. And there's people who look at me cross-eyed, because I'm not as sexually active as someone would expect. But fuck them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
What age range are you open to dating?
So I'm very young. So as far as I would honestly go, I'd like to be able to go to a bar with someone. So I mean, like 21, any younger than that, and I start feeling kind of funny about it. Yeah. I am open to dating older, but I am also aware that there are older people who would prey on me because they think that I am naive for my age, or they would believe I am naive simply because of my age. So while I am open to dating older, I am also keeping my eyes very open.
Absolutely. There are definitely people who would attempt to prey on you because of your age. And also, if they're aware of your experience, they may assume that you have no discernment, which we both know that's not true. But yeah, definitely keep your eyes open. But I will say this, not all older people who are open to dating young, not all of them do it for a sense of control. Some older people are just immature.
Yeah. I mean, there are people my age who date to control people, so I am aware that like not all older people are seeking to have a plaything they can tell what to do. But I've just learned to be discerning in all relationships I form, whether it be romantic or platonic, because some people in general are out for something. So you just have to be careful while also not being scorned or bitter.
Yeah, yeah. And that is true. Reciprocity is a real thing. There are people who want to give, but even the people who give, they're going to want something in return. Is human nature. How do you feel about kids and marriage in the future?
Well, I'm from the South, girl, so I'm a bit traditional. I would like to get married, and I would also like to have kids someday, but I don't think that my life would fall apart if I never got married or never had kids. It's something I would like, but my life would go on if it didn't.
So in my conversations with parents, I would say that having a child makes your life more likely to fall apart.
Okay. There's a lot of added responsibility, child. And so I would not, unless I was in a place where I was really financially stable and really, I mean, I think I'm kind of like emotionally stable now, but if I was like really financially prepared to have a child on my own, I can see myself adopting a child. But I grew up in a single parent household, so I would like another person to parent a child with, to give them a family in a sense.
I dig it. Do you have income requirements or expectations for a partner?
I think I would like someone who can take care of themselves, but I do like someone with ambition. I understand that everybody is in different places in their lives, and there's always going to be highs and lows. So I'm not necessarily turning people away, but I would like someone who seeks to take care of themselves and wants more for themselves.
I
The
dig
cat
it.
bitch.
I dig it. No hobosexuals. Night in or night out?
I consider myself kind of like an omnivert. I love a good time out. If I'm at the party, I'll be the life of the party until the party battery dies, and then it's time to take me home. Because I have been known to find a corner to sit quietly in to, and wait till my ride is ready to go. So, and I'm not sure at that. I'll I'll get down while the get down is going, but honey, sometimes it's time to go home.
Believe it or not, honey, I have been known to be that girl myself. Do you smoke or drink?
So I'm kind of on a hiatus from everything right now. I'm just trying, kind of going on a cleanse, but I do like to enjoy the devil's lettuce every now and then. And I do like to enjoy drinking, but I'm more of like a social drinker. So if I'm out with people, I'll have a drink, but I'm not necessarily sit on the couch and have 2 bottles of wine drink.
Do you know your love language?
I I kind of value all of them. They each have kind of like a special place for me, but I think I'm more attuned to like quality time, um, words of affirmation.
I take it. Are you willing to relocate for love, or does the person have to be in the South, have to be in the Carolinas?
Child, I will relocate. Get me out of here. I'm trying to find somewhere to move now as it is. So within the next year, I hope I can find somewhere else to live. I want to live a lot of different places, so I'm always down to move.
I take it. I take it. Um, oh, you said you already lived in Atlanta. I was going to recommend Atlanta. How do you feel about Atlanta?
So when I lived in Atlanta, I was 18. Well, no, I wasn't 18. That's a lie. I was 20 actually, and moved down there with a friend of mine, and it did not go well. This friend was a platonic friend, and it was another girl. Um, and we just had a lot of issues, and I had a lot of other things going on at the time, so it kind of soured my experience of Atlanta in general. And at the time, I was like, I would never move back to Atlanta. I hate Atlanta. But after having some years to kind of sit on it and really think about it, I think I would move back to Atlanta. I enjoyed being around all the black people, all the black queer people. So I think I would definitely move back to Atlanta. I think that experience alone just kind of rattled me for a second.
And absolutely, pursuing art, I would recommend Atlanta. Final question, love. What would make you a great partner for someone else?
I'm very empathetic and caring. I'm willing to give, and I'm always looking to grow with someone, build something together. I think that I try my best to pay attention to my partner's needs, even if they're not directly sharing them, and try to pick up on what people need, even if they have issues sharing it, like I just said. And I think that I'm thoughtful, and I'm kind of amazing. I'm creative. I'm a visionary. I have a lot of big plans for my life, and I think that I would like to share that with someone else. And I'd also like to support someone else's dreams. I like being a cheerleader as much as I like being the star player.
I ain't mad at all. Tell the people how to get in touch with you.
You can find me on TikTok at ZAY. No, wait, that's not TikTok. That's Instagram. You can find me on TikTok at Z.Mier. And then you can find me on Instagram at ZAY.WM.
Thank you, love, for coming on. It was a pleasure.
I'm glad we could talk.
You. And I look forward to conversing in the future and seeing where your journey takes you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Bre. You have a wonderful night.
You too, love. Baby, honey. Whoo, I am hungry. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on. I think one of my friends wants to check in. We're gonna do a quick check-in before I check out because bitch is hungry.
Hey, love.
What's going on, Miles?
Not even. I thought you about to hang exit out.
I'm about to exit it out, but you know I wouldn't hang up on you, love.
Hey, what you doing?
Child, about to eat, honey. About to
Ooh, what are you eating? I want to know.
I'm about to make stir fry chicken and green beans with some rice. You know.
That sounds delectable. I like this. I love this cheetah. It's giving what it needs to be gave. Okay.
Yes, honey. I'm telling you, I went to see Wakanda Forever, and I ain't left Wakanda yet.
How did you like that? I saw that you saw that. How did you like that?
Baby, you know a movie is good when it's 3 hours long, but it didn't feel like it.
Listen, when I tell you that movie was so good, because like me, I'm also African, so I was like, this is lit. This is a different side of Africa. And then on top of that, then you have, I've also lost a sibling, so that was its own, like, I was there with my youngest brother, so I was like, oh wow, this is interesting. How the dynamics switched. Older brother, younger brother, then that was me, I'm the older brother. But anyways, yeah. What was your favorite part?
Oh wow. I hadn't even thought of a potential favorite part of the movie. I definitely liked when we met Riri on college on campus. That whole little situation, their departure. I overall just like them introducing Riri to the audience at all. What else did I like? Believe it or not, I like the funeral.
I was about to say the same thing. And like, it's so funny because like, you can see like it was nice. It was really nice. It's like you can see the people who actually like. You can see some of the Americans like were like they had in there. They were like kind of like nigga, like they were like nigga, we are in this motherfucking movie, bitch, and we are doing our motherfucking thing, and I loved it.
It was just so beautiful. I love anytime they show us Wakanda because baby, you know, it's one thing to grow up and to read about it and to see pictures and comic books. It's a whole nother thing for them to actually bring it to life, but use real Africa, use real African reference, use real African architecture, use real African art and beauty. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. It definitely is needed because being able to see my roots on the screen in that way makes a huge difference. I have a whole different pride in myself knowing that there's going to be millions, if not billions, of people who are going to be able to see people like me in that light, if only for 3 hours.
Yes, it was really nice. I enjoyed and I even enjoyed them showing her her mourning process. You know what I'm saying? Like, what it's like. You know, this shit sucks. This is somebody we grew up together. Like, I enjoyed that having having her go through that whole process of like he's not there and finally coming out and doing what she had to do so she could get shit done. Like, okay.
I ain't mad at all. But Miles, honey, I got to drop you off, baby, because we got to get up out of here so a bitch can eat, honey.
Oh, go eat. Okay. We need to link up sometime in real life.
Definitely down to link up, Miles. I finally feel like, I'm out of the turbulence. You know what I mean? You know, my life had went through a shift, praise the
Yes.
Praise the Lord for government assistance. But but I'll talk to you later. Peace, love, and blessings to everybody in the chat.
Bye.